Hello everyone. Am I audible? If I am audible, please put down something in the comment section. Hello everyone. Good morning, and it's late, so 20 minutes late. Okay. So first of all, let's introduce myself. I'm Otri. I'm a senior developer at Inside Techno Solution, and I'm doing Flutter practice since 3 to 4 years. Since the Flutter was in alpha stage, and yeah, so initially I started with Android, and by the time goes, and I shifted into Flutter, and there are some specific reasons. I will discuss those along with the session, and yeah, so it's my introduction a little bit. So first of all, I'm assuming that in the audience there are lots of people who are not know properly or don't have a specific knowledge about app development, so and about its market and all. So basically what is an app development, and so you all know about apps, right? So 99% of users are now and Android or iOS user, so you know about apps like the Facebook, WhatsApp, what you are using right now. So those are apps, and so, what is basic difference between app development and web development? So, app development is you are getting something in your mobile screen, or you can use it whatever you want to like. But what is web development? What is website? But if you want to use a website, you have to go through some browsers and all. And suppose you don't have internet, sometimes you cannot check the website until and unless you store it on cache. But in app, you can see some sort of items in the app, and it's quite handy and easy to understand for users. And when we go to develop some apps, we must keep in mind of ourselves like the user experience and user interface should be like this, like a 6 years old user or a 10 years old user and a 60 years old user can be benefited from this app and can easily do stuff in this app. Okay, so it's basic about app development. And if you are asking for the marketing of the app development and what's the current status in the software industry and all, so app development market is quite high, and there are lots of clients and lots of projects are doing good business in the industry, and every client does need a app for their business solution, and they ask for it, and they pay some quite handsome amount for the solution, like for their app development. Though they have a website, they have specific staff to handle their website, but they also need an app, because from an app you can easily target some users. Okay, so so this is quite about app development and about its marketing. And yeah, so let's come after like what is Flutter. So initially in app development, not initially, currently we are also using Android. But what happened in Android, like Android gives you some native users, like who are the Android users, only they can use the apps. And if I have to make similar app for my iOS users, so I have to create a separate team with some iOS native uh, developers who write codes in Swift or Objective C. They make similar apps for iOS. So for one solution, I have to maintain two or three separate teams. Okay, but what Flutter brings, Flutter in a single code base, Flutter uses Dart, and with a single code base, I can target two or three sets of users. Like a single code base will run both on Android, iOS. Also, we can create website with Flutter, and we also can create desktop application with Flutter, Linux application, Mac OS application. Okay, so all of platform supports is available in Flutter. Okay, so it's a little bit introduction about Flutter. So let's share me some slides with you for better understanding. Okay. So can you see my screen? If yes, please let me know. Otherwise, I cannot understand. Like you can see my screens or not. So that will be messy because right now I'll describe something from my slide. Okay, can you check my screen right now? I'm sharing a slide. Okay, so yep. So first of all, yeah, Flutter is our unicorn because there are lots of solutions from the single code base. Yeah. So what's Flutter? So as it's written, Flutter is a Google's UI toolkit for building beautiful and native compiled application for mobile, web, desktop from a single code base. Yeah. So Flutter initially made by Google. It started building from 2016 and it came into alpha in late 2017 and 2018, initial 2018, and we the users started using it from 2018. Yeah. So, what is the uniqueness of Flutter? So, the design is taken from the iOS, and you understand like the iOS design is very much advanced and very much uh, easy to understand for a user because it's using a human interface design pattern, but the Android is material design pattern, which is not very much easy to understand than iOS. So Flutter gets the design from iOS, and the code they use Dart. Okay, so yeah, so why they use Dart? Okay, so there are some specific sets of reason as they use Dart because Dart is a proper language which can be compiled for any platform. Like if you are using an Android device, then Dart will compile into some native Android code and will give you the APK file. And if you are using an iOS, then it will compile to the iOS native code and will provide you the IPA file. Okay. And for the website, Dart is compiled to JavaScript. There is a converter called Dart to JavaScript, and Dart is compiled into JavaScript, and you can check the websites. Okay, so that's how it's working on mobile, web, desktop, etc. Whatever the platform, it doesn't matter. So right now, benefits of Flutter it gives you. So yeah, so it's backed by Google, of course, and the Google community is very big, and Flutter community is very much larger. And if you check on GitHub or other communities, like also I am belong some communities where the members is counted on lakhs. Okay, so there are lots of community pressure there, and so you cannot face any problem. Like if the community members are also came from the problem, if you posted the problem there, you also get the solution. Okay, and yeah, as I told you, the advanced user interface and yeah, native performance. So there's a concept between the hybrid mobile app and the native mobile app. So so some people think Flutter is a hybrid, but Flutter is not hybrid. It's cross-platform. It gives you the native feature. Why? Because the Flutter, the Dart code compiles into native code before it's running. So you'll get a native performance from Flutter. But like other frameworks like Ionic or something like that, they are hybrid. They don't compile into the native code. So you don't get this sort of functionalities. And for React also, so React also kind of behaves like native, but in React what happens, like suppose you are using any platform oriented things like sensors or gyro, those performance is lot much better in Flutter than React. Okay, and yeah, it's easy to integrate in existing apps. Like suppose you have a Android application in you and you want to switch the application into Flutter, you don't need to write the codes from beginning from scratch. You just do some dependency kind of stuff, and you are easy to go. But unless and until there are some logical stuff or some complex stuff, then you may need to do some coding from scratch. Unless and until no. And yeah, as I told, access to default features. So as Flutter compiles, as Dart compiles into the native code, so it's easy to handle the device-oriented stuff from other frameworks than this. So Flutter gives you the immense pleasure to use the device feature, and yeah, it's cost effective, as we already know. Like suppose I have to create a solution for both Android, iOS, and also in web, and also in desktop application. So previously I have to maintain 3 to 4 sets of teams who will contain that, but right now we have Flutter and we can maintain that team and can strong that team to bring my solution in various platforms. And yeah, Fuchsia. So there is one another big news, like Google is bringing the Fuchsia OS. So what's Fuchsia? So Fuchsia is a OS like iOS, not like iOS, like the Apple provides. Like suppose you are using some stuff in your iOS, like in your iPhone, and if the similar app installed in your Mac OS or Apple TV OS or iPad OS, no matter where, suppose you are reading any article, so whenever you stop reading from your iPhone, from that point of section, you can start reading from your Mac OS. Okay, so there is something syncing is going on behind the screen, and that thing come into Fuchsia. Okay, and what happened? Fuchsia is faster than Android and more cheaper and can run on various devices, and is this one OS will run on both Android and their tablet, their what set of device they are using. So yeah, so about Fuchsia. So if you are interested to know about Fuchsia, you can DM me, and I have a article kind of stuff to describe all the things about Fuchsia. Okay. So let's come into Flutter again. So yeah, a portable UI framework for all screen. Yeah. So right now you are checking a screen. So these things, the same application I am made for 3 platform, like the same code, like these things, like the news app. So it's running on Android, and you can check the screenshot. It's Android device, and it's a web function. Web interface, and this is iOS. Okay, so my one code base is running in 3 platforms, and yeah, it's adopted by the community. Like there are so when I built a slide, there was 104K plus. Right now, it's crossed 200K plus stars on GitHub, and it's currently the topmost framework in GitHub, and large community, large user base, and there are more technical blogs in Medium. Yeah, so renowned companies like who Square Capital One, BMW, all are using Flutter right now, and yeah, there are some glimpses from Flutter application, like the most unicorn companies are using right now. So New York Times, Square. So this thing is Sabar, which made by me, and sorry, my and by company. So yeah, so this is the app. So you are know about Tencent, like it's the parent company of PUBG. So they are also like Hamilton, Google Ads, all are using like Flutter right now. Okay, so it's a basic introduction of Flutter. So yeah, what I am saying about the Medium articles and all, you will get later. So yeah, this is about a brief introduction about Flutter and why Flutter is very much interesting than Android and native iOS development. And so I'm going through an example app. Okay, So I will write it from scratch, and you can check it. Okay. So yeah. So let's start some coding. Okay. So if anything is pending and you are eager to know, you can write in the comment section. Then I'll able to answer. Don't hesitate. Okay. So let's do some coding. Well, yeah, my okay. So my Android Studio is open, and as I told you, like to install Android Studio and Flutter the last night. So yeah, so so you have downloaded Flutter, but it's a RAR file. How to install it? So there is some install procedure described in the site I already shared. So first of all, you have to unzip it and save it somewhere the folder, and you need to. So how it will look like? So it will look like this. So when you unzip it, so yeah, so it will look like this one. So Flutter, it will be uh, unzipped into this form. Flutter is a folder. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to do just only go to the bin folder, and you have to click here and copy the path. Okay. And there is something called environment variable. So how to code that? First of all, go to this PC and properties. Uh, this PC properties. Go to advanced system settings and environment variables, and in here you have called path. So click on new one. So already I have pasted in, so I'm not going to paste again. So you have to new one, create a new path, paste the path which you have copied, and just do OK and apply. Okay, so thus you can install the Flutter, and in Android Studio, you have to just go to the settings, install some plugins called Dart and Flutter. Already I have installed, and go to settings again. Where is the settings? Yeah, so it is the settings, and in the language and frameworks, you will have Flutter here, and you can do this, paste the path, and what is it? Okay, thus you can connect your Flutter SDK with your Android Studio and start coding. No problem. Yeah. So first of all, create a new Flutter project. So I'm doing it from scratch. Okay. So it's a Flutter app, and it's my SDK path, but I have seen it. So says let's Flutter, and do next, and I can. Okay. So right now, I can show you a basic app, but I'm not interested to deal with some basic apps. So I am interested to show something from the API. So thus it will give you more fun to learn about it. Okay. So what API I can use? So let's start with a movie API. Okay. So uh, let's start with this. Like give it a name like Flutter. And yeah, my Android code will be on Kotlin and iOS will in Swift and this in this. So let's do create finish. And yeah, so right now my Flutter project is being created. So as I am writing the code from scratch and describing all the stuff, so in my compilation time or other things for writing the code, it will take some time. So we are with that. And in any point, and if you have any question or any confusion, don't hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer if I can. No problem. So yeah, this is my actual folder structure. So let's you describe first the folder structure, how it will uh, give you. So you have a separate Android folder, separate iOS folder, and a web folder. Okay, and you have a test folder also where you can test your app. So I'm not entering into this, which is a very quite complex thing, and there are you can make a similar syllabus from test. There are lots of tests, so I'm not going to test. So you have a lib folder where you are main.dart. So actually this is your code base, and what you have to code in the lib folder and do some settings. You have for Android separate settings. You have to put the settings files or commands or snippets in the Android section, and similar for iOS. Okay. So yeah. So first of all, let's concentrate about the main application. Okay. So first of all, the Flutter SDK writes a code for you from scratch. Okay. So it's a by default boilerplate code. So first of all, let's run it and understand the functionalities, how a Flutter app works, and how the Dart works. Okay. So let's run it first. Yeah, it takes some time to do some compilation first time. So stay with me. Okay, so it's getting installed. Okay, so welcome to your first Flutter app demonstration. Yeah. Okay, so here is the first Flutter app, what you are doing right now, workshop. What happened? Okay, so let's understand the code from scratch. Okay, how does it work? So first of all, uh, let's this code, and we don't know this code right now. Okay, so it's my main entry point. Okay, the word main run app my app. Okay, so I hope you have a programming background. You know something about programming, and whatever programming language you have used, like in C, C++, Java, whatever you have done. So the main function is your first entry point. already you came to know about that. And what is run app? Run app is a command which is an entry point of your Flutter application. Okay. And right now, what is my app? So my app is nothing, just a class which extends the stateless widget. So first of all, let's came to know what is widget. So to do what is widget? So what is widget? So right now in the screen you are seeing there is a button, and if I press it, okay, yeah, you have pressed it, the number is getting increased. So the button, the text, the this text you have pushed this text or the app bar, whatever you are seeing in the mobile, all are widget. Okay. So in Android, it's actually called View, and in Flutter, it's a widget. Okay, so button, app, but text, whatever there is a widget. So this is widget. So right now the question is types of widget. Okay, so there are actually three types of widget, but in our daily case scenario, we use two types of widget. Okay, so one is called stateless widget, and another is called stateful widget. Okay, so first, what is a stateless widget? So stateless widget is kind of a widget whose state is not getting changed during the life cycle of the app. Okay, so what's mean by that? Do some simplification. So suppose it's your app bar. Okay, suppose you are using a Facebook or WhatsApp. So the app bar called where the Facebook is written or the WhatsApp is written, the things not getting changed whenever you do some interaction in the app. Okay, so my this section, the Flutter demo homepage, is not getting changed. Okay, so that's my stateless widget. So it's not getting changed in the life cycle. So if I do some development thing from behind and to roll some update, and it will be changed, otherwise it will not change in the lifetime of your application. So it's your stateless widget. Okay, and what is a stateful widget? Suppose you are pressing the button and the number is getting increased. Okay, so that is your stateful widget. So it has a state and it's getting changed. Okay, so it's a basic difference about the stateless and stateful widget. Suppose you are writing a message to your friend, and soon as you send push the send button, you can check the message in the screen. So that's a stateful widget kind of stuff, because whenever you do some operation, you can the app is getting changed and it gives you a different screen than before. So it's a basic difference about the stateless and stateful widget. So right now I'm not going into technicalities because you are very new to Flutter, and I'm not gonna bore with the initial settings and technicalities how a set widget works. So yeah, so let's clean up the code a little bit. Okay, so in the stateful widget, so whenever I press the button, it's called set state, and set state is responsible to change the state and change the screen for you. Okay, so that's your stateful widget, and let's come again. So yeah, where I was in the stateless widget. Okay, so yeah, so it's a stateless widget, and so now my app where I left, my app is extends a stateless widget, and stateless widget gives a build method where I'm getting a material app. Okay, so what is a material app? So material app, so whatever you are using in the Android or iOS, whatever, so everything is a material app, and all the widgets, all the things like app bar, your button, all are in the material kind of stuff. Okay, so first of all, you have to create a material app. So it's kind of, you can say, entry point of a widget, and here I am putting a title, and is calling a home. So home is kind of stuff which where your app code will be written, like the logic or all the button, all the widget you are. going to make. All the things will be your home page. Okay. So right now let's come to the home page, and it's a straightforward widget as you can see, because if I press the button, the number is getting changed. Okay. So it's a straightforward widget, and yeah. So I enter into home page, and right now it's called a scaffold. So what is a scaffold? So take an example like your house. So your house need a structure. So the structure is scaffold, and there is called app bar body. So whatever elements you are using in your app, all are available in your scaffold section. Okay. So material app is your entry point, like door, and scaffold is a structure of your app. Okay. So you have app bar here. So that is your app bar. You have a body. So body. So if you remove the app bar, so whatever you are seeing in the white section, that's called your body. And you have a floating action button. So it's a kind of button. You are associated with this button where you are using WhatsApp. Okay. So that's called a floating action button. And yeah, I have a title in the text widget. So everything is widget in Flutter, as I told you. If I put a string here, so you will check in this section. Okay. So that's a basic application, and on place it's calling a function, and this function is increasing the counter by one, and the counter is being displayed in this text. Okay. So it's a basic stuff about my Flutter components and what we'll get from the boilerplate code and all. So yeah, so let's remove the code uh, uh, entirely. Uh, okay. So first of all, I'll import some. Okay, I forgot to mention a very important thing. So it's a POSPEC YAML file. So what's the POSPEC YAML file? It's kind of a page of your introduction. Suppose you are reading a book, what have you have read in the content section, like which chapter do you have, and how the book is, like the introduction section or the content section is like your the prospect.yml. So what is my flutter name and description, and what the SDK version I am using, what is the version, and what the asset I am using, and what the dependency I am gonna add. So all the things need to be specified in the YAML file, the prospect.yaml. Okay. So let's start the code. First of all, I have to import the material package. As I said, I have to import material. So all the things are available on material. So material.dart, and I have to write the code like main method, and so as I told you, run app, and my app is about movie app. So name it as Saturday movie. So there is no set sub rule how your name will be like whatever name you want to uh, put, you can, but the name will be on what this is called camel quiz kind of stuff. Okay. So my Flutter movie is a class will extend stateless, so you don't need to write all the things. You just write STL to make a stateless widget, and if you hit enter, your code will be written, and you can check it Flutter movie. So this is my Flutter movie stateless widget, and as I told, I need a material app, and I have to give it a home. So how can I get it? So for the newbies, so just hit Control space, and you'll get home here. Okay, lots of stuff are available there. So home, like movie home. Okay. So what is movie home? So let's come into movie home. I am creating another status widget called movie home. So movie home is done. So my what's my initial perspective to get from the movie home? So I'll call a API, and API will give me some results, and I will display it on my Flutter app. Okay. So from the new people who are very new to application development, and also what's an API. So suppose you have a server, okay, and you want to get some data from your server and need to show in your application, like in web or mobile app, whatever you using as a client service. So you have to connect it through our API. So API is like of a waiter. You have go to the restaurant, and you order food from the counter, but you don't go to the counter. The waiter comes and take you the order, and the waiter serves the food to you. So that's like API. So API is kind of an waiter. So you put some request to get data from the server, and API fetches it and display in your application. Okay. So I'm going to make a real-time application from that. Okay. So right now I need to check it my Git because I'm exactly forgot about my API credential and all. So okay, so that's my GitHub ID. Uh, I have something called movie. Yep. So do you have any? Okay, let me find the URL. Mm, I think I can get it from here. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's the URL actually. So if you hit the URL, you can check these things. Okay, so it's a very big data set. So if you have to see it in a human manner, so just now I copied it and put it on the JSON lint. Okay, and you can check and hit this one. So you can check there are lots of this. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this is our movie. and if you go to the you go to this section, you can check the documentation about precision, so about account. Okay, so that is all the things what you can do from the movie API. Okay, so right now, okay, so right now I'll fetch fetch the movie API in my application and we'll check the results and we'll display it. Fine. So what I have to do first? So first of all, here I'm going to deal with some network. So I have a separate package for that. That's called HTTP, and I have to do pubget. Whenever you do pubget, the package is getting installed with your project. So there are lots of package and plugins are there like HTTP, Dio, whatever. I use both HTTP and Dio whenever it's needed. So right now I'm not going to structurization my app like folder, screen folder, logic folder, what you have seen in my GitHub repos. Right now I'm just calling the API in the main screen in main dot dot. So I have to import it first HTTP as HTTP. So right now, so here I'm gonna convert a stateless widget a stateful widget. So first of all, let's do the design section. Okay. So in my scaffold, I have to give an app bar, and my app bar should have a title or text. Uh, Name will be like this Flutter movie, and you can also put some color like background color, and I prefer that. So that's your color. So if you put a hot start, so hot start. Yeah. So that's your new app bar with a red color, and also you can put the title in center. But in Android, the center alignment of the title is not allowed. But you can do, yeah, for learning purposes. Okay. Also, you can add some style here to the text to increase the size or color, etc. What you want. Okay, my text is getting bigger, so there's the app bar. Okay, I don't like 30. I will go with. Okay, so that's my app bar, and what I'll do, I'll load the movies with the specific images in the body section. Okay, so in body, I will have a body. I will have a container. So what is a container? Container is kind of a box where you can put some items together. So container will have a child. Sorry, I will not go with the child right now because I don't need to. So I can add some color. So my color will be colors dot gray 300 or 400. It's my color of the section of my body section. Okay, cool. So let's call the API first. So what I have to do, first of all, I need to convert it to a stateful widget. And now I'll need to call a function in my init state. Okay, what is the init state? So whenever the widget will be called, the function will be triggered first. Okay, so what the function will return, I will show in the section. Okay, so I'll check if my movies are loaded or not. So I can use a bool. So is loaded equal to false because initially my movies are not loaded. So yeah, and now I can write a function to load my movies. Okay, and my movies will be like, so it's my, it's a asynchronous function, and I'll store the movie head response. So here you can put the API list, API URL. So yeah, it's my API URL. And so what is async and what is await? Because your internet function is not a very handy thing. It's put lots of pressure in your mobile device or web device, whatever you are using, and you have to wait until and unless you don't get a response from your API or internet. So to do something, I have to put a await. So until and unless my HTTP not load something, I will not move forward. So it's for that, and uh, is equal to response dot body. So if I print now result, if I put okay, so after my result uh, came from the internet, I can make the is loaded as true. Okay, so you can put it as set state here, and you can put is, sorry, is loaded. So right now you can check from here, like suppose you have a child in center, like, so here you can use a tunnel operator. So is loaded. If it's true, then I'll write a text called is available. Otherwise, I'll load a circular progress indicator. So when my data is not available, I'll run a circular progress indicator. Okay. So let's test it. Okay, I have an error. Okay, it's no problem. It's in my test. Okay, I forgot to call the function here, so you have to do it here. load movies. Okay, so again I'll run the function here. Okay, so this is my movie as you can see. So here it was a circular progress indicator, and when my movie came, I the boolean got changed, and right now it's showing data is available. Okay, cool. So now I'll paste. I will get the list and will paste here. Okay, so just just hold meta set. I have an urgent. Okay, so yeah, I'm available. So yeah, so where I was, yeah, I have to, as I told, I have to create a list. So let's call a variable called list movie movie list. Okay, and yeah, and let's say that when my movie will be loaded, and I don't need right now. I use it to show you the data, but right now, if you're using HTTP package, you have to convert the JSON to readable text. So I'm using a variable, so converted data. So I have to decode the JSON. So JSON will give me a header. So I have to import it. So yeah, start convert. So yeah, that's it. And my movie list is equal to converted data, and I have to give the JSON. So what it was like my results. Okay, the JSON array name I have to give it. Yeah. So now, if you want to check like what the data in my list, already you can do it. So in Dart, you have a cool function like for each. So you know about the while loop, do while loop, for loop, and Dart has another thing called for each. So movie list dot for each and element, and you can print element. So yeah, Is this? So if you do have to start. So your cyclobus indicator is moving, and if you do so this result for your from your list. Okay, so add all false backdrop path. Okay, so it's jpg format. And right now I have a list, and I have to load the list full. So my list is generated, and I have to load the list. So right now, if my data is loaded, I'm showing out data is available. But now I will change it a little bit. So right now I will make a list.builder. So list.builder is kind of a widget where you can make items from a list, and the count can be dynamic. Okay, so item builder I have a call index, and in item builder I can give the image dot asset. Sorry, it will be image dot network. So if you want to load some image from network, so you can do it. And yeah, so what interested to build a separated editor. So what is a separated? So separated is kind of a thing. So if you want to keep some gaps in the separated, or do another want to paste another thing, so you can use a separated. So yeah, and size box is kind of a widget to provide some gap between your result. So I can use a height of 10 or 20, whatever. And now I need a count. So my item count will be right now to right now it will be movie list dot length. So if my movie list dot length is null, so it will be 0. Okay, so hopefully it's giving me an error. Okay, it's not an error, it's a duplication. So that's my list below separated. And here I can do these things like is beta loaded, is loaded. If it is true, then I'll show the list view. Otherwise, I'll go to center and make the circular progress indicator. Cool. Yeah, fine. And to load the image resources, what I do need a URL. URL means because you can check it's only the endpoint, and to load that I need a URL. So where I get a URL. So right now I'm so yeah, I think this should be an URL. So let's try it. 100 and put a endpoint from here. Okay. So actually that's the main URL I have to hit to load my image. And here is two sections. So I will get only the endpoint from my list. So how to load the endpoint from my list? So I have to get movie list index. Sorry, index. Then I have to give the JSON key name. So what is my JSON key name? My JSON key name is backdrop path. Okay, path. Cool. I think it will work. Finger crossed. So let's start it from beginning again. So it's moving, and if my data came, and you can check I have lots of movies. in my list. Okay, so I am only loading the images, so that's now only images are there, but you can also load the movie name and all from your own. Okay, so I have only 30 to 40 lines of code, except the brackets and all, so you can check only the here are the 5 lines and here are 5 lines, so in 10 to 12 lines of code you can make a movie kind of stuff. Okay, and load data from your API. Okay, so I'll do an other thing and then I'll stop because it's getting longer. So suppose you want to go from an other screen. So if you, so my perspective, my target is if you tap on a movie, you will get the details of the movie. Okay, so how can we do that? So to do that, I need something like so I'll create a stateless widget because this thing is not gonna change. So I can put it as a details screen. Oh, it is screen. Okay, and what do we need? We do need something like final string, uh, movie name, final string, movie details, final string, movie posters, or movie image. And I have to create a constructor for that. How that will work? So require this dot movie name, required this dot movie details, and required this dot movie image. Okay, cool. So so right now I have to create the scaffold. So how does it work? So in my app bar, I can use the name as dynamic. So my dynamic name will be movie name, and I will have a body. In my body, I will have the movie details and the movie image. Cool. So to generate more than one child, you need a column because it gives you children. Okay. So in the column, I'll have children. Here I can take the image. There will be like the movie image. Cool. And in that text, I can enter the movie details. Okay, that's my objective. And how to do that? So in the libc builder, in the item builder, you need to wrap the widget with a gesture detector. So to do the tap operation, you need the gesture detector widget, and you should have a on tap property. And in the on tap property, you have to do the navigator but of context. Which I'm doing the Cupertino page route because you can check the iOS kind of flavor you can achieve in the Android device. Cupertino page route builder build context, and it's my the movie details screen. And as I put the required, so I am getting the parameters here. So what's the stuff do I need to generate that screen and to need first items on the screen. Cool. So what I do, so for the image, I can simply copy and paste these things here. And movie name, what can I do? I can copy it and paste it here. Same here, and we'll change the JSON key as it's there. So my movie name is original title. It's my movie name. So that's my movie name, and uh, the description is not available, so it's overview now. Uh, let's copy it overview, and I'll just put the overview here. That's this. So my Apple color will be as it was. But so let's do this. So do a hot restart. So it's getting loaded. Images has come, and if I tap on here, I drag not up. So yeah, you can check my name is here. Here is the image, and here is the text. So if I want to enlarge the text, what I can do, I can style and the style property and the text style, and the font size will be 30, and the hot reload, and the text is getting bigger. Okay, if I put this and this, it's the Spider-Man now. If I do Iron Man, this is, sorry, it's Logan. Sorry. And if I do X-Men, X-Men Eclipse. Okay. So right now, thus you learn how we can create this kind of stuff with some small lines of code. Okay. So here, what thing you have done? So right, so that's why I put it here. So you got a render text error as it's I am using a column. So to deal with this, I need to wrap it with a single child scroll view. Okay, so what is a single child scroll view? So something in the child which is bigger than your phone size, the scroll will work and the problem will be gone. Okay, so what you can check, you can scroll the image. Sorry, the text and the image, whatever. So yeah, here is the end game, and yeah, it's done. It's Iron Man again, Wolverine, Thor, Dark World. Okay, so thus you can create, you can start your own apps, and if you need some more assistant, you can ask me, and I'm putting down my reaching point. So in Facebook, you can ask me from here, and if you want to join me in LinkedIn, you can put me a request in this account, and I'm also available on Twitter and all. Okay, so yeah, this is for today's session, and if still if you have any queries and all, and some people had asked me like, how can we get a job from home and all. So if you can grow up your skills, if you can learn the things, obviously you can get a job from your home. You can apply it on LinkedIn or from any other websites, because the demand of Flutter is getting higher and higher day by day, because the client want to reduce their cost, because you have to maintain only one team, right? And from home you can also get a job. Okay, so that's not a problem, and also you can get some freelancing projects and all. So don't think about money making right now. Okay, so let's focus about learning. So if you can learn yourself and can learn properly, then obviously you can get your job and some projects and can earn money. So that's not a big problem. Okay, so that's this. Thanks guys for being here. Okay, so let's call it a day. And okay, so bye everyone. So yeah, bye.